Another video for you guys. Doing welding on the handles as promised on those handles I showed you in the earlier video. There was a little bit at the end of the last video if you've watched it of the Land Rover gearbox. I showed you those handles sitting on the trolley, so I'm doing those at the moment in my garage. You'll probably get a little bit of noise and hopefully the camera will stay focused and in the right light anyway. It keeps going up and down with the glare coming in from outside, but it's nice sitting in here in my little corner of the garage where I'm welding now, and I can see outside in between welds. So what I'll do is I'll just do a weld first and then just show you the weld finished, so you can watch a little bit of that. Hopefully there's not too much glare from the welding arc. I'm not too sure. Sometimes the camera auto darkens, sometimes it doesn't, so you'll have to be aware of that when you're watching the video. It's not too bad. And we'll come back and have a little bit of a look around my setup. It's nothing too big deal how I've actually got the positioner set up, and just a little bit of a talk about my thoughts on it after owning it for a while. I can't remember the exact date. I'll have to go back and check the other video, but if you guys are following along on the welding positioner videos, you know sort of, you can go back and see the date of when that first video was, when I was doing the review. So it's sort of like, I suppose you could say we're probably at least 18 months at least past that time now. As I say, I can't recall the exact date. I should have gone back and have a look at the video, but anyway, it's not that important anyway. It could double as a 18-month plus review. So yeah, it's been good. But anyway, I won't talk too much longer. I'll just fire it up and we'll get a weld started and give you a bit of a look at what it looks like after. It definitely makes a difference to doing it with a non-positioner. Not super comfortable at the end there. Hopefully you can see that okay. I'm get my head in the way. I'm right at the end of my stick now, so I was able just to get that in before turning my T-welding, especially on a position you don't want to stop and restart again. So I just managed to get that in before we ran out of wire. So I'll just bring you down and give you a bit of a look at the weld now. Probably going to be not great to see, it's because it's not clean yet, so it's going to be a little bit blackened, but we'll get an idea of it anyway. Hopefully the camera will behave. It keeps going up and down. Just give me a look at that anyway. So it definitely makes a huge difference. It does get a bit mundane sort of sitting here welding anyway continuously. But that's a good thing about having the door open. Occasionally look up and see outside for a little bit anyway, a bit of fresh air coming in. Not so bad than being stuck in a workshop somewhere. I did talk about it in some of the earlier videos, or different parts of this, or I suppose different aspects of the positioner. In, I think it's like 3 videos now in total, I think now, so I probably would have covered most of the information, but I did talk about the chuck in one of them. And if you are thinking about buying one of, well, this particular model, or possibly other models, and you see this type of chuck, definitely get it. Don't go for your lathe type chucks, mainly because of the, well, 2 reasons: because of the height and the weight. Because the normal lathe chuck's fairly heavy. These ones are pretty stripped down, as you can see by them. Compare that to my hand. So your height from the actual base to the actual tops of the jaws is fairly low, and you've always got the option to cut it down if it's too tall for whatever reason anyway. So if you are thinking about buying the positioner, yeah, definitely go for the chuck. It's got a good range on it too. I think I did talk about bore sizes and things like that, so if you haven't watched the earlier videos and you're curious about more information about it, there is a few videos there. It's probably nothing new for the guys who've been following along on this series of videos to do with the welding positioner. I'll just get up now and just show you my setup anyway, where I'm tucked away in the corner, how I've got this actual welding positioner set up. To help make life a little bit easier, I've brought a few of these trolleys, well I can't say a few, 2 of them anyway, for doing jobs in the workshop, and also they're very good for setting up the welding positioner, so I can set up the height where I want to sit, so you can adjust the actual height, this hydraulic lift platform or trolley to suit, and just really easy to wheel around. You can see the wheels on the bottom, so you guys probably see them online wherever. So if you're ever doing any welding and you're going to get a position, it's definitely handy to have one of these. You can set yourself up in a nice comfortable position, so you can set your tabletop, your chuck height here to the height that you're comfortable to. And same thing goes with the seat too. I've got one of the like bar type stools with the hydraulic lift, so or gas lift, whatever they are, so you can set yourself up to the height where you're comfortable to sit too. So they're handy to have that sort of thing too, rather than just sitting on an old kitchen chair or something like that. But up to you how you set yourself up anyway in that regards. But just if you want to set yourself up more comfortable, the better you'll weld. So that's one thing. Nothing new for guys who will weld a fair bit will know that. If you're more comfortable, you can weld well, and if you're not comfortable, you don't weld so well. But it's one thing to think about for guys who are not so much experienced. Make sure you get yourself comfortable when you're going to weld, and this is one way to get yourself comfortable. So that's what life's about for me now, especially working on your own. You want to be as comfortable as possible, so the idea of the trolley and the adjustable seat definitely helps with that. Just bring you around the back here. I did talk about it in an earlier video, nothing big deal, but make sure you put your earth straight on. Don't put the actual earth clamp on there, as I mentioned in an earlier video. Make sure you bolt the 2 halves together. Just a random bolt that I found to get started with, and as with temporary things, they become permanent. But yeah, just make sure you bolt it together and that's a tight fit. You make sure you have a good earth, so you don't have any problems. No matter whether you're welding with TIG or MIG, doesn't matter. Always keep a good connection on your earth. But the actual positioner itself is, it's been good. I haven't had any dramas with it. As I mentioned before, it's over 18 months now. I don't use it a huge amount. Maybe, it's hard to say exact timelines, maybe anything from 6 to 10 hours, probably a month. So it doesn't get a massive amount of use. And you'll probably find when you buy one, or you're looking at one, you're probably thinking you're going to use it every day, but you don't finish up really generally using them that often unless you've got a particular job. But most of the time they sit there parked. So yeah, there's nothing really to go wrong with them, mainly the electrics, and even that's a Chinese one, they're getting better and better with the electrics anyway. So, and if something happened to it, you could probably get someone that's half switched on with electrical to go and have a look at the actual box. Is probably going to be your drum. The mechanicals inside, the motor, things like that will generally last a fair while. There's no real load on there. Of course, depends on how much weight you put on the table. If you do something stupid and you overload it and then you finish up burning the gearbox out, well, that's your own fault, because there's obviously going to be a limit to how much you pay for something, how long it's going to last. So that's a bit of a how long is a piece of string type of question. I guess how long will it last? It depends on how you look after it. So that's a sort of question that comes up occasionally with people. How's it been running for you? What's it been like, and things like that. I think we always don't want to buy something in case we're worrying about stuffing up too soon. But I can say with mine in particular, I bought mine with confidence of buying it, and maybe wishing for the best and hoping for the best at the same time. So, but if you have any questions about the actual welding positioner, just let me know anyway. I'm happy to answer anything reasonable. But I think that pretty much covers it really. The only thing I've really added to it is just this plate at the back here that I had to join to get the length of it, to get this actual post where I was resting my hand on. I had to join two offcuts together just to be able to get me out far enough. They normally come with a torch stand anyway that comes with the actual positioner, but I didn't finish up getting it, and I was refunded that part of it anyway. But you make do without it anyway. It's more so for the MIG, I think, and it would have been a good rest post. So it was a bit of a pain in the ass to have to muck around making this up, but it is what it is anyway. Not a big deal anyway. But other than that, it's been good. Just one other little thing, I'll just make a little note, I'll just show you on the other side there. A little thing to probably reference for guys who like to write all over welding machines, which I've seen when I've gone into different places. People get their settings and they write all over the tops of things with textures and things like that to try and keep their settings, which works for them but doesn't work for the other 100 people that are going to use the welder after them. And you finish up, looks like graffiti written all over the wall. You can't work out what setting is which, and even you forgot which one. So a good little thing to do is you get these little white little stickers, or whatever colour, just happen to be white in my case. Just stick them on there and write down your settings, and then if it changes, you just peel off the sticker and put another one on there. So you can just write down your settings or whatever it is. I've got things like the height of the trolley set on there, so I can just set it up straight away. Just the ampage and the actual setting of the welding positioner. So that's pretty much it. I suppose I could cover most of it in it. As I mentioned before, the gearbox on this is a lot lower because I've modified it, but to be able to get myself inside the actual shaft itself. The handle's still a bit hot, so I probably shouldn't grab it with my bare hands, but the length of that shaft reaches down inside the bore, because they haven't got a through bore. As I mentioned earlier, they do say they have a through bore, but they don't actually. The advertisement says I think they've got a 22mm, I think it is, through bore, which they don't. And these handles this material is 3/4, so it would have fitted through if it had a through bore, but it didn't. So I've had to modify that, and there is a video there for those guys not familiar. I did show you the modified version of it, so there's nothing new for guys that have been following along, as I say. But the guys who are probably new to this, maybe they haven't seen that before, so there is a couple of videos there. I will post possibly a card back to the first video at the end of this one, just for guys who haven't watched any of these videos to do with the positioner. And we'll keep going with the videos as I get around to it. So still waiting to get on to edit that other video for you guys for the lazy axle. I think I mentioned that one a fair few times in the videos, but we'll get around to that eventually. Otherwise, that'll do for this video, and we'll get that video up for you guys as soon as I can. I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye for now.